Okay, I got a couple more parts to throw on the 23 VB WRX. Got ourselves the illuminated sill plates and the blue cabin lighting. Let's see, there should be a part number in there. Part number somewhere in here. We're gonna go ahead. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do these guys first. I think routing them under the dashboard is going to be less fun, so I'll get this out of the package and start running it through. Alright, so we've got the actual LED modules, some zip ties, the cable where one side of it, this looks like the passenger side right here, and then you've got the side that runs to the driver for the LED, and then somewhere buried in here, yeah, here's the Y for the dimmer switch. And there's somewhere buried in all this is a little foam pad that I think you're supposed to use around the jumpers. So this is probably in the dimmer. This is probably what does the wiring, so this is probably what you wrap the foam around. So not a lot of light. Let's see if I can get a flashlight. But right here, my hand in the way, right in here, this little circle is where the first passenger side light clips in, and then we'll be running the harnesses over the transmission hump there. Looks like there's a little tie base here built into the harness. Let's figure out where that goes. I'm assuming this foam area is probably what's over in that transmission hump area, but we'll get a flashlight and take a crack at it. Now, I just realized it'd be easier to start from the driver's side because you got one connector to route through versus basically three of the jumper or the Y cable and the LED. So we're gonna run the passenger side over from the driver's side and then start hooking this up and then bring the slack back over the driver's side. So you see there's plenty of room under here to run it over the transmission tunnel. We're just gonna find a good path. So I went ahead and snapped the LED into the cable. So we have it run through. A little bit of the foam protection has popped through, so I think we got it in the right place. And then it's gonna be tough to get on camera, but right here is the LED itself. And I believe it orients itself with the connector facing out towards the door. So I think we pop it in at an angle, put it in the hole, and then click it in, we'll see. So I actually found it easier to take the connector off and put it in, and so all you gotta do is get up in this hole. About here's where it engages. And then you're going to spin it over and lock it in place. And then we'll go ahead and mate our harness up and then try to find some good zip tie locations. I'm thinking right here, probably one of the proper zip tie places. Hold everything in line. So we have a bunch of zip ties in on the passenger side. See the light there again. I tied it using that point just to keep it aligned. And everywhere, you can kind of see it there. Wherever these white tape areas on the harness is where you're supposed to place the zip ties. There's one there, and it's gonna be hard to see it. There's one up under here. There we go. And now we're gonna fish it through the driver's side. Okay, next we're gonna pop out this panel here to get to the dimmer. I removed the fuse panel cover, and we should be able to reach up under here. Let's see if we can get it in the video. There's some plastic. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to get it, but there's some plastic tabs up in there that we're gonna push on to pop this panel out and then get the jumper in the back. Okay, these are the tabs that I mentioned. I found it easiest to get up on this side and push these in, get this guy, and then just get your hand in and pop it out. This is the connector we're gonna pop off and run the jumper in from right here in the harness. So we'll get that guy off, run the jumper in. Make sure you do it up under so you can put your panel back in. Just for reference, the tab to pop the guy in the dimmer out in there. This little guy right there. So you may have to get a pick to push in on that to get it out. So you definitely want some kind of small item to poke in there, compress it, and then you can also use it to pop this guy out. It's a little stiff, but not too bad. Now we're gonna take them out completely and route this jumper through, connect that, use the foam tape for this connection right here, and put the dimmer panel back in. Okay, we got the dimmer control mated back up on the Y cable. Got the splice in, the T-in mated with the foam sticker around it, and we'll go ahead and put this panel back in. Okay, so now we need to install the LED on this side, driver's side. There's the hole for it. I believe it's going to go in like this. Again, pop it in, click it towards that tab there. I got a little connector hanging out here. Try to mate him up after we get the LED in. Okay, so we've got, where the heck is it? We got the LED in there. Cable's mated. Now we're going to start playing the wire tie game under here. Figure out where we want to put that tie base. I think it's going to go somewhere up on these plastic panels in there. And then start buttoning it up. I think right now I'm going to plug the battery back in and test it to make sure they work before we go any further. Okay, quick note. Make sure your headlights are set to auto. Just realized I've probably been driving around without my headlights on. Well, AC kicked on. Apologize for that, but if I can find it. See this guy's on the side. And around. I think I see a little bit of blue. Let's check. Yep, this guy's on this side. So now we'll button it up. Alright, after some body contorting, we've got everything in here. Yep, that flashlight's not gonna do a lot of good. You can see right there, I tied one of the loops with a white tab to the OBD2 cable. The other one is tied, it's kind of hard to see, but it's tied to the OBD2 cable right down there where it mates in. We've also got, let me get myself under here. Okay, it's gonna be hard to see. We tied it right there to this harness, and then it's gonna be really fun to get to. I also put that little tie base up here, right on this vent, and then we went right on through to the other side. Yeah, quote there. Anyway, so this guy's stuck up there pretty good. Seems like a pretty good location. There really wasn't any instructions on where all this goes, so yeah, that's how we got all those. We're going to go ahead and clip off the little eye stabbers. I'll go to the other side, show the routing real quick. Okay, so originally I had a zip tie in here, just right in this little hole, right, if I can find it, right there. I decided to move it to tie it to that bundle. Got a tie there, there, tie up in there, and then we go under. So I think we're tied down pretty good. Used up all the zip ties that came with it, wasted one, but I ended up using a smaller black zip tie up in the driver's side, way up for one of the stragglers that went into the main control box. So we're gonna cut all these guys off and we'll be done with this. Put one last tie down in just to capture this guy. Looks like it's the vent cable that I hooked it to, but capture this guy as it goes under, because it's just kind of flopping down, so I want it nice and tight. So that's it. Put your fuse panel cover back in and should be good to go.